Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the final episode of Social Media Success for Professionals in 2023. And we're doing the year in review. And what's so special about this episode is my wife is joining me on this episode, and I cannot even believe it because I've only been begging you to co-create on things for 20 plus years. And here we are. Welcome, Meg. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Longtime listener, first time caller. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for this opportunity.
Cool. So here we are. Actually, why are we here?
I got that. Okay. So, yep. I got invited by your brilliant marketing director, Jackie, because she and your team, also incredible folks, put together some questions for you, year in review. This has never been done on the podcast. It's the first, hopefully annual. And they put their heads together, which is always a good time, and came up with some inquiries about how last year went, what we're looking at for the future. And when Jackie floated the idea of me potentially interviewing you, I jumped on it. And can I tell you why?
Please.
Because as your partner, I get to watch you go forward motion through everything. It's at a running pace all the time. And very rarely do you get to stop and look back and appreciate what you have done, what you've created, all the successes, all of that. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about the wins, the challenges, what went right, what we're looking forward to. That's what we're here.
Wow. Wow. How lucky am I? I get to work with a fantastic team, Jackie, Amy, Joe, and then of course you here on this. And I just have to loft out my appreciation for my team, for you, for taking the time out of your day to come here and help me do this. So thank you for your support. And I'm very excited to get into this.
Me too. It's going to be fun. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So something that you and I do, we pick words of the year. It's been a couple years in the running now. And the team was interested in what was your word for 2023 and how did it guide you through the year?
Yeah, cool. Great question. Love that. This year, Boo Boo, you have a phrase. And so I was like, wait, hold up, record scratch. You really can have a phrase and not just a word? So I was just like, yes. So because of you, is that a thumbs up?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Distracting. AI.
Because of you, I came up with main character energy. I am done playing second fiddle. I am tired of status quo. And so in order for me to emerge as the entrepreneur that you want to work with because you know, like, and trust me, I have to step into this main character energy skin. So, all right, I already have hair. I got the look going on. So I might as well show up with my, my emotions and how I show up in the world. And so I embraced this main character energy. And there are a couple different traits of main characters that we fall in love with, right, in television and movies. And so here are a couple that I've extracted that I feel I've really stepped into this year. May I share?
Yes, please. I love the authenticity of that, by the way, of admitting where you were and where you're headed. Okay, go.
Yeah, great. Okay, so being the main character means you're the protagonist, right? Like it all starts and ends with you. So you must heed that call, right? Hero's journey. You must step into that because you have to take charge of your narrative. You have to take charge of your narrative. For so long, Meg, I looked outside myself. I was looking for somebody else to give me the answer when the answers were inside of me all along. And so now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna step up and take that. So with that narrative, that narrative can be limiting or it can be life-giving. And for the longest time, I was in that limiting, dare I say, negative mindset. But something happened in 22 that shifted my way of living. I have a whole new system of living. And part of that is talking positively, even about the most hurtful things. Okay, I'm not trying to sugarcoat things. I'm just trying to find, how can I calibrate it to a better feeling, just a better feeling about it. And that has been and made a world of difference. a world of difference. Another thing would be emerging with purpose. Okay. I am a mouthpiece. We all know this. This is no secret. Am I right? So, okay, my purpose, I've been given the gift of gab. Well, I might as well use that power for good, right? With great power comes great responsibility. Well, I'm out here to spread joy and love. That's it. Joy and love. So I honor the talent that I was given by getting out there and having the courage to use this talent and to use it for good. So here I am. Embracing growth is another main character energy characteristic. And you and I all the time are working on our growth, on our personal growth. I wish I would take as much time working on my health as much as I do on my mental health, but we're going to get there, right? We're going to get there. And then expressing unique talents is another, expressing unique traits is another characteristic of main character energy. And then fostering and nurturing relationships. But I didn't have the confidence before. I've been working on that confidence, right? With that personal growth. And so now as a main character energy, man, come on, come all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Love you all. Even ones that hurt me, I love you. And so just fostering relationships and growing in that way. So those are my main character energy characteristics.
That's a lot. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. And that's on the personal side, right? So how about professionally? Was there a word there as well?
Yeah, that's short and simple for professionally, but efficiency, right? So efficiency, let's be efficient with our time, our money, with other people's time, with other people's money. If we keep efficiency as our North Star, we will show up and be the best agency for our clients and ourselves possible. So, and I really do feel that our team and myself included have embraced efficiency.
That's great. Yeah, when things are efficient, you can get more work done, meaning you can serve more, which is, I know, a value of yours for sure. So those go hand in hand, the main character energy, the efficiency, stepping up into leadership. That's all such good things for, the rest of us to hear of how, a business can be led. What about headed into 2024? Have you picked words for 2024 yet?
Yeah. So personally for 2024, if you know me, I hope something that I offer is my willingness to give. I will give and give and give and up until this year, really, truly almost to a detriment of myself, because I would give oxygen before I would receive oxygen. Well, as Southwest is so good at telling us, and every other major airline for that matter, put your oxygen mask on first before you can help somebody else, right? If it's so important for somebody in an airplane to put their mask on first before helping their child out, like I should do that too, and just the natural world without any emergencies, right? So I am a giver. I give and give and give and give, and now it's my turn to receive. And so, but with receiving, I have to, I've been working on that self-worth, and you've been a big part of that. My friends have been a big part of that. My teachings have been a big part of that. My coaches have been a big part of that. So I'm really doubling down on that receiving. So one of my mantras is to willingly give and graciously receive. And I was doing half of that equation. So now I'm going to go full equation and receive in 2024.
That's great, because you give to all of us so much. And when we try to give it back, there's some work to do there of, being able to receive compliments the same that you give them out. And so I'm excited for you on that one. How about professionally? Word of the year 2024?
Ooh, to be revealed, right? So I'm going to come back to the team, and I'm going to actually, we're going to come to that conclusion together. I would like to know how Team HMS wants to just crush it in 24. What is going to be our North Star? So stay tuned.
Ooh, perfect. Cannot wait to hear more about that. I hope you do a future podcast episode about that. Your team's incredible. They put their heads together in such a great way. So stay tuned for more, as Heather says there. Next question. From where I sit observing you, this has been a hugely pivotal year. Tons happened for you and the business. What were your major accomplishments this year, both personally and for HMS?
Yeah, cool. So what's funny is I wrote down I have a lot of notes. So I wrote down a lot of personal professionally. I feel like professionally I have a bunch of wins which are coming from my personal growth, and that's great, but I'm going to talk professionally here for a second. And the first one is right here, right now, what we're doing is one of the biggest accomplishments of this year that I could have received. This gift of creating this podcast episode with you, Megan, is I'm going to receive this gift, right? Let's start now. This is phenomenal. I've wanted to do something like this where we talk all the time, like you said, in the car, and then this and then that. We're walking. We haven't recorded this stuff, so here we are doing it. So I think this is one of the biggest accomplishments, is getting us to sit our heinies down on camera with the microphone, professional lighting, the whole nine. Yeah. So that's very cool.
I like it too. Emerge. Talk about emergence. Woo.
Emerge. Yeah. Another really major accomplishments is that I doubled my team. Which was, what once started out as Heather creating hundreds of posts per month, just whittling away at her typewriter laptop. Then Amy came on board during COVID when I was like, how can I hire a teammate? And then Amy emerged and was available. Then the next thing you know, my cousin Joe, he's like, you know what? I'm set, Heather, and I want to be in a creative field, and I'm looking for that. And I'm like, well, Joe comes on board. Then we had Lo. Lo came on board as our strategist, and she helped us out. But then Lo had to go. But because of relationships that we built with former clients, we were able to, I love the free market. I love, what is it? Oh my gosh, sports ball, free agents, right? I look for free agents all the time. I've picked up 3 free agents on the market. Jackie came on board when we needed her desperately, and my goodness. So doubling the size of our team, and also being able to pay ourselves better was one of the biggest accomplishments that I could have received. So that's a really good one. Another one is creating partnerships with clients who worked with us 2-3 years in the past, coming back to us and saying, hey, not only do we want to work with you again, we want to partner with you. So our relationships are growing. Our partnerships are growing. I am so appreciative of the folks that I have met, the seeds that I have planted, the relationships, like I said, that we're creating we're operating on a new level, a whole different level. And that came because of, you want to guess?
Do it.
Okay. I'm asking you, do you want to guess?
Meditation.
Oh, sure. Meditation, but also certifications. So, we are 3 times, a 3X certified company. We have National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, Women's Business Enterprise certifications, Women's Own Small Business certifications. And with all these certifications, Meg, it has just really elevated our agency into a whole different, from the minors to the majors, like that. And because of that, I am so appreciative of all the training and what we've accomplished because of that personal development. I'm just so appreciative of that. So I think, to sum it up, is becoming certified, working with you in this podcast, doubling my team, increasing our income, just loads. We could have a podcast just on this. There's just so much that happened in 23. I am so appreciative.
That's incredible. That was a lot. I should have known that answer too, because you worked really hard on those certifications, and those came to you because of these partnerships, right? Knowledge about them. So you just speaking of them right here, right now, is letting your audience know, hey, there are certifications out there that can help you elevate your own business, would you say?
Yeah. Well, 100%. Absolutely. And I have to loft it out to Natalie at Mid-Penn Bank, Natalie Falatek. Thank you so much for even saying the word. Well, let's go a step further. Julie Webb, thank you for putting putting together the Mid-Penn Bank Women's Expo. Because of that, I was able to meet Natalie Falatek, who said the word certification. I didn't know what these certifications were, or that they existed, or even the importance of them. So that was in 2022. Then fast forward to, yeah, that was in 2022. And then at the end of 22, we got gay and lesbian certified, NGLCC certified, which launched me into the WBENC, which dominoes start falling. Next thing you know, I'm in a worldwide brand business development program that we can't tell you about yet. Shh, coming out soon. But you know this brand. You love them. You've worn them. You can't get enough of them. And we're at the table with these executives from this worldwide brand. Holloway Media Services? This wee cup agency, from Central Pennsylvania?
Not so wee anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's something, I don't podcast much, but is this where they usually say, we'll put that in the show notes?
Yeah, you got it.
Certifications.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, elevation all the way this past year. It hasn't been all rainbows though, much as I love rainbows and would love it to all be. You guys have had some challenges.
Yeah.
What would you say if I asked you what challenges or changes in the marketing industry you or HMS has had to successfully, adapt to face?
Yeah. So Holloway Media Services as an agency, and I think anyone that owns a business and has teammates can understand this, but finding top talent and keeping top talent is probably one of the most difficult things to do, unless you're me. Just kidding. No, it's one of the most difficult things to do, because people come and go. They life changes. They may be in marketing 1 minute, and then the next thing they want to go make donuts, which might be me someday. So, it's a challenge. We were rocking and rolling with the team, with our internal team, but then one of us had to leave. And so replacing that was scary, expensive, all the things. But luckily, I think because of my attitude, it wasn't too hard of a hurdle to overcome, because man, we had that replacement right there. Thank goodness the replacement was ready and we could keep moving along. So that's staffing. But on the other thing, marketing in general, content creation in general, we want to automate everything. ChatGPT is going to save the world. AI is going to do it all for us. We don't need a marketer. Baloney. But when it first came out, I was scared. I was like, oh, shut the laptop. Nobody needs us anymore. Why would they? They can just go put a couple words into a machine and it will spit out generic copy, and that's good enough. Well, what we're finding is it ain't good enough. And it's not going to teach you strategy. And so there goes that bubble again. And so, overcoming that obstacle of, are we relevant? Is the business that I built still needed? That was scary. We are content creators. It's and marketing is one of the first budgets that's cut when people get scared in a recession. And so overcoming that as well. I don't like to stay here long on these limiting things. So what I will say is we've embraced the technology. We use the technology. I'm not scared of AI. You will always need a heartbeat. Always. You will always need strategy. AI will not give you that. And let's be honest, folks, you don't want to do it. Regardless of the technology, you don't want to do it. So we're here to help you on that.
That's awesome. I think that's one of the most graceful moments that you've had this past year, of having to adapt to this new, emergence of technology that could have the potential to take over roles. But for you guys, you are a heart-centered business. You are people helping people. At the end of the day, it's not about what tech can do. It's about what you bring to the table with your own experiences, your own storytelling, your heart. All of that has been just a cool, graceful move to watch you, embrace this year.
Thank you. And what AI can't replace is your authenticity. You can tell it go and, understand my tone of voice, you know, and you can have it try and spit it out. But at the end of the day, you really do need that heartbeat to extract the essence, which makes you, you, and we do it better than anybody else in the world. ChatGPT, love you, babes, but you will never replace us.
Plus, not nearly as good jokes. Your jokes are way better.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one of my favorite questions, and I think so valuable for your listeners to hear, whether they are entrepreneurs themselves, wanting to start their own business, they're in business, having a good year, having a bad year, they're in the messy middle, whatever it may be. What lessons have you learned in 2023 that will change how you prepare for 2024?
Yeah, one of the biggest lessons that I can impart on the public is, and entrepreneurs is, that no one builds a business on their own. They say Rome wasn't built in a day, and it wasn't built by one person either. Like, let's not forget that. All right. It really, truly does take a village. And so this year I have leaned hard on my team. I have delegated more than I have ever before, and I've lofted it out and let it go and trusted that it would get done and to the quality that I want for us. And they nail it every time without fail, without fail. So you cannot do it alone, little entrepreneur. Go get yourself a team, or at least one other person to bounce ideas off of. If that's either in a masterclass, a group coaching session, doesn't matter. You need help. You need help. So go get it. Another one that I learned is ABPs. It's the ABPs of business. Always be prospecting. Everyone, anyone you meet could get you to that next thing that you need. It could be a connection. It could be business. It could be funding. It could be a different way of doing something, right? But you always want to talk to people, and you always want to prospect, right? You're in it. Dig for that gold. How can that person that you meet get you to that next level? And then foster that relationship, right? You're not just trying to extract something, right? We talked about that: willingly give, graciously receive. So give to get, okay? We're not trying to take something from someone. But man, anybody you talk to, tell them what you do. Tell them what you do. And then if they say, oh, I have somebody for you, or, oh, I could use that, write it down. Write it down. And then the next thing I would say is follow up. Right? So that's another lesson, is I've just tried to get better at following up. Have you heard the fortune is in the follow-up? Yeah. So the fortune is in the follow-up. I've heard it. But really, truly, the fortune is in the follow-up, because here's the deal. Most people aren't following up on these leads, on these prospects, on these people, not just prospects, but these people who are going through things. Give a damn. Really, truly, it's all it takes. Give a damn. And you'll extract the gold. You'll get it. And another one would be listen. I think learning how to listen more. Before I would just give you all of it, right? So now Heather's trying to be a little bit better about listening, asking questions, and allowing the other person to be heard. I think that's another big one.
Ooh, I like that too. There's some real gems there. I think you've grown so far in the prospecting and following up arena. That can be really scary to follow up with if they're a stranger, and then, you're trying to not make them a stranger, but we're all, scared little kids sometimes, reaching out, asking if you still want to go play. So I think it's been really neat to see you foster those relationships. And I love that you're giving that advice, because it's really come to fruition. A lot of the things that have come up this year, positive wise, have come from those relationships.
That's right. And I'll tell you too, to bounce off of that, with all of my training in these certification programs, one of the word relationship, if I had $1, like, we'd be set going to Fiji right now. I'm telling you, you can go be MBA certified. You can be a doctor in this. You can have, 27 marketing certifications. Cool. You got the tech knowledge of how to do it. But don't forget about that person. You won't have the work unless you work that relationship. So don't forget that. And that's something that I've had to remember.
Awesome. So along the same lines of relationships and things that have inspired you that way with the growth of your business, I know you're a really avid reader. Y'all should see the bookshelves in our house. They're getting a little bit ridiculous. But curious, has there been a book this past year that has inspired you?
Yeah. Books. Yeah, books. So, okay. So we're sort of taking this podcast episode, both professionally and personally. So I'll start professionally. Look, there are 3 books. Go out and get them right now. Read them multiple times, and then check back with me next December after a year of following these 3 books. One is my homeboy Donald Miller. He wrote a book called Story Brand. And so, cool, you're going to chat GPT, tell me 10 blog posts, write 10 blog posts about blah, blah, blah. Whatever, man. If you want to make that stuff even better, Story Brand's the way to go. Why? We learn best through stories. So if you're selling something, tell a story. Get really good at telling stories. So Story Brand would be a great book to do that. Vivid Vision by Cameron Harold. Vivid Vision. How do you know where you're trying to get to if you didn't plot it out or write it down? And it may not be the end all be all, but dang it, you got to have sort of a target, right? You need to know what direction you're heading in. And so Vivid Vision is a really great book to sort of craft how you want your business to go, what you want it to look like, how much success you want, right? You can also use it personally. So there is going to be a time, Boo, where we go off on a vacation and we each have a copy of Vivid Vision because I want us to vivid vision our life together. It's that important.
I love that.
And then the other one would be Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. Oversubscribed is probably one of the easiest marketing books that you could read about getting yourself oversubscribed. So if you're sitting there and you're like, where is my next piece of business going to come through? It's because you haven't made yourself consumable in a way that people are just trying to get on your email list or trying to get on your calendar. Well, between Story Brand, Vivid Vision, and Oversubscribed, you should never not know where your next client is coming from. Those 3 books will totally change your business next year. So check out those 3 books. And then personally, I mean, you and me, now really quickly, I just got to say that bookshelf is half of my problem.
Every time a package comes in the mail, wait, can we give a shout out to Thrift Books right now? They're not a sponsor. Is that okay?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So you and I got a little bit obsessed with a little site called Thrift Books. I say little. Basically, any title that we've wanted to find a copy of, we go there, bing, bang, boom. It's in the mailbox, probably the next day. They're super fast shipping. And we both, every time that green package arrives, is it for you? Is it for me? But yeah, I love to hear what you're reading, both personally and professionally, because I put them on my list. And I think vice versa. We're constantly comparing notes about what we're getting into literarily.
Yeah, literarily.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, absolutely. 100% hashtag thrift books for the win. Yeah. And boy, do I love getting some used books. By the way, I try not to get brand new copies. I try to get those used copies because why? I don't know. You get photographs, you get markups, you get like inscriptions. I've gotten, Dan Kennedy. I've gotten signed copies from Dan Kennedy, man. One of like the OG marketers out there. So it's very cool. So personally, a couple books in 23 that changed my perspective. Okay. First one would be A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And hashtag give it up to Oprah too, because like her reading club, and her podcast has helped me find these authors. And I call them my spiritual teachers. So A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. So this is one man's account through concentration camps and survival. And if you really want perspective on your life, read that damn book. And then The Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukav and Linda Francis. Tell you what, check back in with me after those 3 books, and I'm going to tell you that you will have a different lens. You will learn how to forgive. You will learn how to let go. You will learn that potentially what you're going through isn't the worst, and just perspective, and understanding, perspective and understanding on your fellow humans, I think is probably the best elixir that I've extracted from those books. It's just how to work with people and meet them where they are. It's a work in progress. But those 3 books right there, life-changing.
Beautiful. I love how they marry too, the personal and the professional that you're into, all of it learning about people and working with people, and all of that makes a lot of sense as you know, deep dive into what we're all here for and what we're all trying to do with our lives. Ugh, love it. I got goosebumps.
Thank you. Well, those 3 books, you know, A New Earth, Man's Search for Meaning, and The Seed of the Soul, just again helps you to understand. We don't know what's happening in anybody else's brain, right? We all have our own realities.
Mm-hmm.
And those books help me to understand that we have our own reality. There is no reality. So how many people are on the planet? That's how many realities there are. Okay. And so if you can understand that, and I got that understanding because of these books, it's like, wow, you learn not to be so damn offended or bothered. Right? So, go read them.
That's huge. Not to be so bothered. Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah. So if anybody needs any recommendations, go ahead and message HMS on Facebook or Instagram. We'll get you, next book for you to read. Let's see. Okay. So speaking of our audience, and speaking of, in related terms, your audience, we talk a lot about having a niche, who we're marketing to or who we're looking to work with, that type of thing. So next question from your team is, any new niches, or some people say niches, you plan to explore this upcoming year?
Yeah. Oh man, I tell you what, when you asked me that 6 years ago, when I was first getting into business, I'm about to flip the table, because I'm like, what do you mean niche down? I'm for everyone. Right. And like, it's funny because if you say that, then you're sort of for no one. We're in marketing, so we can market, right? Marketing, there are rules that you can follow for any business. You just put them through the rules, and then boom, you're good to go. But it kind of came down to values, really. So who do I want to niche down or niche down to because of my values, our values as teammates? In the beginning, I was swayed to go after breweries. I don't drink, right? I mean, I love the atmosphere and I think it's cool, but I may have half a dozen beers a year, maybe. Back in the day, I was into craft beer, but really, was I? I guess I was more into the scene than actually drinking. So I was pushed into like, go after breweries. Then the next thing you know, anybody that would come along and say, Heather, I want to work with you, I said, yes, come on in. But what I allowed was vampires too, to just suck the life out of me, because I was like, dang, I didn't know working with you or this industry would be like that. So as I'm emerging as a speaker, as a consultant, as a professional that you want to do business with, I've learned that, oh, snap, that's my audience. Why? Because I'm coming from it. I know how to promote a speaker, a coach, a consultant, a professional service provider, a lawyer, a doctor, a thought leader, because I am that, right? I am that. So it took that, light bulb moment to come on. So we've niched down. I'm very excited about it. So come one, maybe not come all, but come most speakers, because you have to have a cool message, man. I'm here to help the world heal and grow. So that's who we are for. We are for the people who are out there doing good in the world, trying to help us progress positively, right? We post with a purpose. It's one of our mantras. And so we are out there for the speakers and those professionals who want to use, online to promote themselves and grow. So so we niche down to speakers, baby. What's up?
I love that too. Finally figuring this out has to be such a weight off the shoulders, because we'd go through all these, courses and workshops about finding the niche. And really it comes down to who you are and what you want to do in this world and helping others do that too.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's really rewarding to hear.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks for sticking with me through it.
Oh my gosh.
And for helping me see.
Yes, 100% through all of it. Totally. All right. So talking about making dreams come true, which is, I think, what you're headed into now as you embark on some new experiences of your own and looking ahead to next year. I'd say if you could give us a little peek into what advice you would give to other entrepreneurs planning their 2024, embarking and merging themselves, what would you want to impart there?
Yeah, sure. So, kind of comes back to that little book I gave you on vivid vision, right? How do you know where you want to go if you don't even loft out what that could look like? And so I'm a manifester generator. And so when I envision myself or have a vision of how I want it, not how, but sort of the why, right? Why would I want this to do this? Well, because it feels really good. I see myself on stage. Why do I see myself on stage? Because I love it. And it comes naturally to me. Give me the microphone. I'm a weirdo, man. I want the mic, right? And when I see myself there, it feels good. And if you can remember that good feelings will get you to where you want to go. Golly, why aren't we thinking about that all the time, right? So no matter how silly or crazy or whatever it is, envision yourself. Have a vision for 24. Where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself going? Write it down, share it, tell the friggin' world, have a podcast about it. Write a blog post, journal. If you're more introvert, it doesn't have to go out into the world, but get it out somewhere, right? So have a vision. Remember that busyness does not equal business. I'm going to say it again for the folks in the back. Busyness does not equal business. Okay. So for as much for how busy you are, take an equal amount of time to stay quiet, because that busyness will lead to stress and anxiety if it's not accumulating to what you want. And if you don't know what you want, right, we go back to step one, get that vision. But we want to get quiet. We need to get quiet to allow ourselves to disconnect from the tech and the meetings and the, dare I say, family responsibilities, personal responsibilities. Like, detach yourself for a moment every day and give yourself permission to be quiet. Otherwise, you will block the $1 million ideas that are trying to be given to you at all times. At all times. The universe is like, boo-boo, I got you. But we are in our own way. So get quiet. And then the last thing is, if you have a partner, be good to them. All right. They're there. You're here. You're taking your time out of your precious day to support me. So support your partner as well. Show them love. You can't lose.
Oh, I like that one. That's great. I love that advice for these entrepreneurs potentially listening. Anybody that's looking to start anything. I know something that you helped me with this year is when you want something and you're visioning like that, not just visioning and writing about it, but believing. That piece I have been missing. So personally, that really struck home a couple weeks ago when we nailed that. So thank you for that. Oh, I'm getting a little choked up.
Aw, wow.
This has been so cool to get to spend this time with you. We've got one more, if you have one more minute. Curious what you loved most about 2023. We've talked highs, lows, what has been just the most rewarding part of 2023 and how does that inspire you moving forward?
Yeah, thanks. I was excited for this question because the most rewarding part of 2023 for me is my team. That is the most rewarding part of all of this, is co-creating with human beings that are sweet, they care, they love on each other, they love on our clients, they give a damn, they love their family, they show up. I ask and they give, and we have fun. And if it doesn't align, if it's not fun for us, you got to go. So my greatest reward is my team and what they bring and what they've given me. They've given me freedom to go and explore other things like voiceover acting, to launch out as a speaker. And honestly, it's like everything I give, they just give me right back. They just give me right back. So Team HMS, it's you. You are my greatest love of 2020, beside my wife. You're my team. I just want to look you right in the camera and just say thank you so much.
That's so cool. Oh, they are such good people. Thank you, HMS team. Thank you, listeners, for giving us your ears for this last couple of minutes. Anything else before we wrap up here, Heather?
Yeah, just thank you. Thank you, fans, followers, friends, for joining me and us on this journey. 2024 will be our biggest year yet. And I am excited for what's to come because we are learning to serve in such a tremendous way and big way, expansive way. And we just want to call in everyone who wants to work with a heart-centered, heart-focused agency to come on in, have some fun with us. And I can't wait to see where we go.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and expertise. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, that'll do it. Recap 2023. You heard it. You got all the sauce, right? And we're going to branch out in 2024 and bring you more social media success for professional podcast episodes. We're going to teach you more and more about emerging and growing online with your social, because you can do it without ChatGPT. All right. We'll see you in the new year. Love to all. I'm Heather Holloway, and you've been listening to Social Media Success for Professionals. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me and my team. Hey, remember, check the show notes for resources and links to other episodes, and don't forget to hit that subscribe and follow button to be notified when new episodes are released.